that much. It's just raw, unsubstantiated, smooth-brained hype.
We want our democracy back, and we want these people out.
96% of all the stories that mainstream media prints about Elon are negative.
But why is Elon Musk fucking this up so badly? Simple.
In May 2025, the results of the Axios Harris poll stunned the business world. Tesla had plummeted from number 8 to 995 in the annual ranking of the most reputable companies in America, a freefall of 87 places in just 4 years. Once hailed as the gold standard of innovation, Tesla now shares the bottom tier with companies like Spirit Airlines and the Trump Organization. Even more alarming, Tesla ranked dead last in character and near the bottom in ethics and corporate citizenship. Its sister company, SpaceX, fared little better, falling from number 48 to number 86. What was once Silicon Valley's crown jewel now faces a full-blown identity crisis. At the heart of this collapse is not a faulty product or a technical failure, but a crisis of trust both in the brand and the man behind it, Elon Musk. As CEO Musk once promised, Tesla would become an appreciating asset. But today, Cybertrucks are losing up to 35% of their value within months, and Tesla vehicles overall are depreciating faster than nearly every other EV on the market. According to Kelley Blue Book, Tesla's average depreciation rate in 2025 is nearly 3x higher than competing EVs, a trend they describe as market-driven but amplified by brand instability. Analysts at Cox Automotive echoed this, citing a sharp decline in resale confidence across used Tesla listings. This isn't just a dip in sales or market sentiment. It's a systemic rejection of a brand that once symbolized the future, and a reckoning with the real-world consequences of broken promises, political entanglements, and an increasingly controversial figure at the helm. The decline in consumer trust isn't speculative, it's measurable. In the 2025 Axios Harris poll, Tesla posted alarmingly low scores in 3 key areas of public perception: ethics, corporate citizenship, and most notably, character. These aren't fringe metrics. They're core indicators of how Americans perceive a company's values, its integrity, and its social responsibility. For Tesla to fall to the bottom of these rankings suggests more than a bad news cycle. It signals a profound shift in how the public sees the brand. This erosion of trust is now being reflected in the market itself. Tesla vehicles are depreciating at a faster rate than nearly every other electric vehicle brand. According to used car market analysts, Tesla's average resale value has fallen more than 3 times faster than that of competitors like Hyundai, Ford, or Volkswagen in the EV space. One of the clearest examples is the Cybertruck, which Musk once
Called the Cybertruck Tesla's best product ever.
In reality, the vehicle has become a case study in accelerated value loss. A $100,000 Cybertruck driven less than 4,000 miles was recently valued at just $65,000 in a Tesla trade-in offer, a 35% drop in less than a year. In comparison, similarly priced combustion engine pickups like the Ford F-150 or Ram 1500 typically lose value at just 1/5 that rate over the same period. Meanwhile, competitors like China's BYD and South Korea's Hyundai are gaining ground in global EV markets, often offering better range-to-price ratios. In regions like Europe and Southeast Asia, Tesla faces growing pressure not from politics, but from price and performance. For consumers, the message is clear: Tesla no longer holds its value in either monetary terms or moral standing. Once a cultural icon and technological leader, the brand is now being actively devalued both in the marketplace and in the minds of its former supporters. In 2019, Elon Musk made a bold claim that captured headlines and investor imagination alike. You're buying an appreciating asset. He wasn't talking about real estate or rare art, he was referring to Tesla vehicles. Musk suggested that due to Tesla's cutting-edge technology and future autonomy features, their cars would not depreciate like conventional vehicles. Instead, he implied they would gain value over time, becoming more like tech investments than transportation tools. That vision hasn't aged well. In 2025, the data paints a very different picture. Tesla vehicles, far from appreciating, are now among the fastest depreciating cars in the electric vehicle market. The Cybertruck in particular has become a cautionary tale. A model priced at $100,000 can lose up to 35% of its value in less than a year, even with minimal mileage. Other Tesla models are also seeing resale values fall sharply, a trend that is accelerating rather than stabilizing. This stark contrast between promise and performance raises uncomfortable questions. Was Musk's original statement a genuine misjudgment, a well-intentioned but naive forecast? Or was it a deliberate overstatement, a marketing claim that borders on deception? In a market where consumers are increasingly data-driven, the gap between what was promised and what has materialized is not just reputational, it's potentially legal and financial. As trust erodes and losses mount, some investors and buyers are beginning to wonder whether they were sold not a vehicle but a narrative one that's now collapsing under scrutiny. At the heart of Tesla's image crisis is not a manufacturing defect or a faulty product rollout, it's Elon Musk himself. Once celebrated as a visionary and a disruptor, Musk's personal brand has evolved into a lightning rod of political and cultural controversy. And increasingly, that personal brand is dragging Tesla and SpaceX down with it. Much of the damage stems from Musk's open political alignment, particularly his growing closeness with Donald Trump and far-right factions. Over the past 2 years, Musk has used his platform to amplify conservative causes, criticize progressive policies, and even suggest sweeping political reforms. He has been a vocal critic of everything from public health measures to corporate diversity programs, positions that place him in sharp opposition to much of Tesla's original consumer base. For many progressive or moderate consumers, particularly in urban tech-forward markets, Musk's rhetoric has become alienating, even offensive. These are the very demographics that once formed the core of Tesla's early adopters, climate-conscious, innovation-driven professionals who now view Musk politics as fundamentally at odds with their values. The result is a brand collapse by association. Increasingly, consumers are no longer separating Tesla, the company, from Elon Musk, the persona. Instead, they see the car as a proxy for a political identity, and for many, that identity has become toxic. Where Tesla once stood for clean energy and cutting-edge technology, it now risks being perceived as a political statement, one that not every buyer is willing to make. In the branding world, founder-led identity is a double-edged sword. When the founder is admired, the brand soars. But when the founder becomes polarizing, the brand suffers. Tesla, it appears, is now facing the downside of that gamble. The public backlash against Elon Musk hasn't been limited to disappointed consumers or plummeting brand rankings. It's also drawn pointed criticism from media analysts, some of whom are raising serious legal and ethical concerns. On the damage report, political commentator John Iadarola didn't hold back in his assessment of Musk's previous claims.
Raw, unsubstantiated, smooth-brained hype.
That phrase, part satire, part warning, was directed specifically at Musk's now infamous statement that buying a Tesla was akin to buying an appreciating asset. As we now know, that claim doesn't stand up to market data. Tesla vehicles, especially the Cybertruck, are among the fastest depreciating vehicles in their class. While Tesla has not publicly responded to mounting criticism, the company previously faced regulatory action. In 2018, the SEC fined Musk $20 million for tweeting he would take Tesla private, a statement regulators deemed misleading. That precedent raises questions about how marketing claims are scrutinized when they materially affect investor behavior. But the critique goes deeper than colorful language. Some observers have begun questioning whether Musk's statements could expose him and the company to legal risk. If consumers or shareholders made financial decisions based on the belief that Tesla vehicles would appreciate in value, and those decisions led to measurable losses, it opens the door to potential class action lawsuits or regulatory scrutiny. This isn't a far-fetched hypothetical. The Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) has previously penalized Musk for misleading investors, notably in the 2018 incident when he tweeted about taking Tesla private at $420 per share, which turned out to be baseless. In that case, Musk was fined and forced to step down as chairman for 3 years. Given this precedent, some legal experts argue that Musk's statements about vehicle appreciation, if proven materially false and financially damaging, could be construed as misleading marketing or even investor fraud. The threshold for action would likely depend on whether courts or regulators view the comments as exaggeration or intentional deception. At a time when Tesla's market capitalization remains under pressure and consumer confidence is eroding, even the suggestion of legal exposure is enough to rattle shareholders and further damage an already fragile public image. As Tesla faces the most serious reputational crisis in its history, difficult questions remain, not just about the company's products but about its future identity. If Elon Musk were to step back from politics tomorrow, would consumer trust return? Or has the damage already been done, not just to the brand, but to the values it once stood for? If Tesla fails, will it be because of flawed technology or because the public could no longer separate the innovation from the ego behind it. And most critically, when we buy a Tesla, are we purchasing a vehicle, or are we buying into a belief system that no longer holds up? This is no longer just a debate about electric cars or market competition. It's about what happens when brand identity and ideology collide, and whether the institutions we once trusted to drive progress have become trapped by the personalities that built them. In the end, Tesla may survive the current backlash. But the bigger question is whether it and its customers can reclaim the clarity of purpose that once set it apart.